it over to Mrs. Lloyd, Director of 4th Grade Orchestra.
Thank you, parents and family and friends that have come out tonight. We have the 4th Grade Orchestra on your right, and I have had the privilege of starting them on their stringed instruments this year. They played their first concert at the end of February, and we enjoyed having a small group recital down in the 4th grade commons so that moms and dads could come and get an up-close look and watch what their skills were doing in developing playing their string instrument. Now we're in the gym. Now we're a big group. And before you are 84 students that have started strings this year, and it's been a wonderful journey for them. 5th graders before you on your left here will play after us, but welcome to intermediate school, and we're going to begin. 4th grade orchestra, we're going to demonstrate our scale as a warm-up. The D major scale, we're going to bow, we're going to pizzicato, and then we're going to bow one more time. Thank you. Next up is a familiar tune. It's called Mozart Melody, but you're going to recognize it. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. We're going to pluck, and then we're going to bow. will you please stand so moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas, and our friends and family that are here can see where the violins are? A little bit of row 4 and rows 5 and 6 are the violin players. Thank you. Be seated. Viola players stand. I have it in row 3 and a little bit of row 4. These are our violas. And be seated. And then the first 2 rows, just the second row of cello players stand. We have 20 cello players playing tonight. And so, thank you cellos, you can be seated. What we're going to do on Buckeye's Salute, we're going to all play together first. And the second time through, we're going to hear just the sounds of the cellos. Third time through, we'll hear just the sound of the violin violas alone. And then we'll play it the 4th time all together. This is Buckeye's Salute. As we've advanced in our 4th grade book, the next song is called Michael Row the Boat Ashore. What they've learned in playing Michael Row the Boat Ashore is about half notes and holding a long 2-count value with their bows to go on a slow bow stroke. Now they're combining quarter notes and half notes, and they also learned about a repeat with a first and second ending. Thank you so much for being here tonight. 4th grade orchestra will play Michael Row the Boat Ashore. for our final selection tonight, as far as we've advanced in our method book, now we are combining our quarter note patterns with our eighth note patterns and our half note patterns on the very famous tune by Ludwig van Beethoven. This is called Ode to Joy. Thank you for being here tonight, and the fourth graders will conclude with Ode to Joy. And now row 5, violin players, stand up. Row 4, the violin viola row. Row 3, violas. Row 2, cellos. And row 1, cellos. Thank you, fourth graders. Fourth graders, so you have good attention. Now for fifth grade, I'm going to ask cellos down to the right, or to the left, I'm sorry, to the left. Okay. End pins in. Cellos. And now violin, violas, bows on the back of your chair, and you can tuck your instrument under your chair if you like, or hold it carefully. Thank you now for your good attention for fifth grade orchestra. You are seated and quiet. Seated and quiet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lloyd. Can we have fourth grade orchestra another round of applause? In fifth grade orchestra, students have the opportunity
Journey, created by the American Masters, live features that about orchestra improvisation. Improvising in the field, musicians make music about the spot. This means orchestra part of the orchestra for the whole piece. The jump journey is perfect step in time because it is about the great shower. Please enjoy the jump journey.
And she has just been doing such a wonderful job working with these students. She wants to be a music teacher. She's going to school to be a music teacher next year. So I'm just so glad you've been able to work with these students, and these flowers are for you. Congratulations on your first piece.
It is a very dramatic and
hope you have enjoyed our musical evening. Before we perform our final piece tonight, I have many, many thank yous. Thank you to all of ISD 518 staff. Thank you to Ms. Moe for helping me tune students every day. Thank you to Akery for being our wonderful guest conductor this evening, an SBS student. A special thank you to Mrs. Anderson for accompanying students both tonight and during their solo and ensemble. Thank you to Mr. Paulson for helping tune students tonight and for guest conducting. Thank you to building administrators for their support, and PE department and Jeanette Jensen for letting us use their space. Thank you to Lambo for their support and district administrators as well. Thank you Randy Davis and Ann Foley for making sure this event is recorded. Thank you parents for supporting music in our schools and supporting your students. And thank you students so much for all of your hard work and dedication.